My stepmother kicked me out the night my father died. I said nothing about the $28 million. He'd been quietly moving into my name for 18 years. Thursday's will reading ended her. I was still wearing the suit I'd picked out for my father's funeral when my stepmother looked me straight in the eye and told me to leave. It wasn't even midnight. The house was full of relatives carrying casserole dishes and whispering in corners. My dad had died that afternoon after a heart attack. Everything still smelled like hospital sanitizer and fresh coffee. I was standing in the kitchen rinsing out a mug when Karen walked in. "You've stayed long enough," she said. I thought I'd heard her wrong. "What? You don't live here anymore?" I looked toward the living room where my father's brothers were talking quietly. "Dad died 8 hours ago. I know exactly when he died." Her voice stayed calm. "This house belongs to me now. Pack your things and leave." I stared at her for a moment. I'd lived in that house since I was 10. My mom died when I was 8. Dad married Karen 2 years later. She brought her daughter, Melissa, into our lives, and from then on, everything slowly changed. My mother's photos disappeared from the walls. Family vacations somehow happened while I was away at college. Holiday dinners became uncomfortable. Dad always noticed, but he rarely challenged Karen. Every conversation ended with him asking me to keep the peace. That night I didn't argue. Okay, Karen almost looked disappointed that I wasn't fighting. I packed 2 duffel bags, grabbed a small box of old family photos I'd kept hidden in my closet, and walked out the front door. Not one person stopped me. As I pulled away, my phone rang. It was Dad's attorney, Richard. "I heard what happened. I guess everybody has." There was a short pause. "Your father expected this. What does that mean?" "I can't explain until Thursday." The call ended. For the next 4 days, Karen acted like she had inherited my father's entire life. She changed the locks, answered every sympathy message online, and posted old family photos that barely included me. She never contacted me once. Thursday morning, everyone gathered inside Richard's office. Karen sat beside Melissa, looking completely confident. Dad's younger brother, Tom, gave me a quiet nod before taking his seat. Richard began reading the will. Dad's watch went to Tom. His fishing boat went to his oldest friend. His collection of tools went to a local trade school. Then came the house. Karen inherited it. She smiled and squeezed Melissa's hand. Then Richard closed one folder and opened another. "My client left additional estate documents that have remained private for 18 years. Karen frowned. "What documents?" Richard continued. "When Michael was 10 years old, his father established a series of trusts, investment accounts, and ownership transfers connected to his commercial real estate company." Every person in the room looked at me. I looked back just as confused. Richard handed everyone copies. "These transfers were completed gradually over 18 years. The current estimated value is approximately $28 million. The room went completely silent. Karen's smile disappeared. "That's impossible." "It isn't, Dad. He couldn't hide something like that." "He didn't hide it," Richard replied calmly. "He transferred ownership legally over many years." Karen turned toward me. "You knew." "I honestly didn't." "You're lying." Richard reached into his briefcase. "Your father also left one personal letter." He handed it to me. My hands shook as I opened it. "Michael, if you're reading this, then I waited too long to say what I should have years ago. I saw more than you realized. I knew Karen treated you differently. I knew I didn't protect you the way I should have. This was the only way I knew to make sure nobody could ever take away what belonged to you. Build your own life. Don't spend it trying to change people who never wanted to change. Love, Dad." I folded the letter without saying anything. Karen looked at Richard. "I'm contesting this." "You can try," Richard answered. "Every document has already been reviewed. Everything was signed personally by your husband." Tom quietly spoke for the first time. "I witnessed several of those signatures." Karen slowly turned toward him. "You knew?" He nodded once. "So did your husband." Nobody else spoke. Outside the building, Karen caught up with me. "You could help us." I looked at her. "Us?" She pointed toward Melissa. "We're still family." I remembered standing in that kitchen 4 nights earlier with 2 bags at my feet while she told me I didn't belong there anymore. I simply said no. Over the next month, she called, texted, and emailed. I never answered. Later, my attorney received a request asking whether I would help cover the property's expenses because she couldn't afford the taxes and maintenance alone. I declined. 6 months later, the house was listed for sale. One afternoon, I drove past it. Dad's porch swing was gone. The flower beds he planted had dried up. The place didn't even look like the home I grew up in anymore. A different family moved in a few weeks later. The last message Karen ever sent me was one sentence. "I never thought he'd choose you." I read it once, then I deleted it. She threw me out before my father was even buried. He had already spent 18 years making sure she never could.